Hey beautiful soul, welcome to day 11, and today we're practicing one of my favorite mudras. So mudras are hand gestures. This is called the Fearless Heart Mudra. Now you bring your hands so your palms are facing each other. You bring the right hand closest to you, cross at the wrist, then you hook your little fingers, your ring fingers and your middle fingers together, and then you bring your index finger and thumb tips to touch, resting the arms down beside you. So we're going to find ourselves a comfortable sitting position. I'm sitting up on a cushion. I'm sitting in Ardha Siddhasana. So my left heel in towards my groin, right heel in front. You can pop cushions, blankets, whatever underneath your knees if need be, so you've got something to press down against. So we want as much of the body in contact with the floor as possible, but the most important thing is your spine is nice and upright. So if that means sitting on a chair today, then do just that. Do whatever you need to do to keep your spine nice and upright. So bring your hands, palms facing each other, bring your right hand closest to you, cross and then hook your little fingers, your ring finger, your middle finger, and then bring the tips of your thumbs and index finger together. Relax your arms, relax your upper body. Lift your chin very slightly so you're not dropping your head down, so your head is in line with your spine, and close your eyes. Just taking your awareness inwards. Now, we're advised to use this mudra to help us to kind of find the courage to keep ourselves loving, compassionate, to keep our heart open, especially during really challenging times. So times when we're drawn into fear or anger or hate or resentment or any of those kind of vibrations, or if we're going through a period of grief or any kind of hardship, you know, it's easy to get pulled away from love. So during those times, so when I was going through a period of grief, I used this mudra quite a lot. It's also a way of reminding yourself of those times that, you know, you've gone through a challenge and you've still maintained your kindness, your compassion. You know, it may be that some people have done something to you, really hurt or upset you, but you haven't let it turn you into a bitter, spiteful person. So it's also a way to acknowledge that. So just maintain the mudra, eyes closed, focusing on your heart space at the center of your chest. And just find an easy breath. So without trying to force the breath, just see if you can simply observe what's going on in the body. Maybe observe the qualities of your heart right now. So does it feel open and expansive? Does it feel contracted? Does it feel light? Does it feel heavy? Does it feel hot? Does it feel cold? Does it feel empty? Does it feel hollow? Does it feel full? So try not to be logical about it. You know, imagine your heart is trying to explain how it feels from its point of view. Does your heart feel listened to, or does it feel ignored? Remember, this isn't about logic. This isn't about, you know, things that make sense on a mind level. It's on an energetic level. So this mudra helps you to connect to your heart's truth. You know, how many of us have desires that we don't follow? You know, or we say, oh, I got stuck between my head and my heart. I couldn't choose between my head and my heart, and that kind of thing. And it's usually a case of we know what we want when we say that. If we say, oh, I couldn't decide, it's that we actually know what we want, but we didn't have the courage to follow through for whatever reason. So this mudra can help you develop the courage to follow your heart. It's also said to rejuvenate your life force, to reduce fragmented thoughts, also to reduce fragmented energy. So if you feel really scattered, you know, your mind, your energy is in a million different places, can bring it back. It can also give you a powerful sense of vitality and calm. And on a physical level, it's a great way to work your hands, because our hands and wrists and fingers need to do a little bit of work as well. So just simply observing thoughts, observing sensations, observing the breath. So sometimes in yoga practices we'll direct the breath and breathe in a specific way. And other times it's just about observing, noticing the body breathing. Noticing that the length of the breath may differ. Every now and again you might find yourself taking a deeper breath, almost like a deep sigh. Notice tension releasing, tension that you may not have known you were holding. Notice if you're holding any tension in your jaw, your face, your brow. Maybe you can ask yourself some questions. Sometimes we'll do affirmations and sometimes we'll ask ourselves questions. Like you can ask yourself, how can I be more compassionate towards myself? Not in a case of, oh, how can I, but how can I be? How can I be more compassionate towards myself? And notice what pops up in your mind. Again, ask these questions with the expectation of receiving an answer, even if it's not the answer you were thinking of, or it might be an unusual answer. And don't worry if you don't get an answer straight away. Just see what pops up. See if there's any resistance. See if you, well, I'm already compassionate towards myself, la 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 la. That's just your ego talking. Usually when we are receiving messages from our higher self, from our energetic body, the answer comes slower for one, and it's often a kind of sense or a feeling, or you may get an image in your mind. You know, it's often quite subtle. Usually our ego is very much, oh well, blah 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 blah. The ego speaks first, speaks loudest. Maybe ask, where is my heart pulling me right now? So is there a desire on your heart, something that you've been wanting to do, yet you've told yourself you're no good at it, or you haven't got time, or you haven't got the resources, or maybe there's something you want to give up, a commitment you want to release, or clutter, whatever, something you want to let go of, but we struggle to let go. So where is my heart pulling me right now? Reminding yourself that we came here, part of our purpose here on earth is to follow our heart. You know, it's not selfish. That's one of the mistruths that many of us struggle with, that it's selfish to follow our heart. As long as we're not harming anyone else, there is nothing selfish about it at all. In fact, by following our heart, we're leading by example, and we can uplift others by following our own heart's desires. So the next question could be, what can I release to make space in my life right now? What can I release to make space in my life right now? Bearing in mind that us humans tend to try and cram more in, more things, more activities, more, to do. It's like we can't just spend time in silence. We can't just spend time doing nothing. It's like we've got to cram more in. And often the route to happiness and peace lies more in letting stuff go. Whether that's expectations, whether that's commitments, whether that's comparisons, whatever it may be. So what can I release to make space in my life right now? gentle breath in. Let it go. Gently releasing the mudra, undoing the hands and resting your hands palm upwards on your thighs, your knees, and just observing. So you might feel tingling sensation in your hands, the warmth, the energy in your hands. Noticing the qualities of your heart now. You know, so many of us have resistance to celebrating ourselves, to showing ourselves love, to following our heart, because we've been brought up with these stories that, you know, this is how life is, you know, it's selfish to want more than you need and better to give than receive, and all those kind of stories that we've told ourselves that our higher self, if you like, knows is not true. But you know, our mind is like, da, da, da. That's why we struggle with head and heart, because of the nonsense stories we've been told. But our energetic self, our spiritual self, knows that it's all nonsense. Your task today, should you choose to accept it, it's quite a powerful practice. And you can use this whenever you're struggling. So say, for example, you've been in a conflict with someone. And keep in mind, it's not about blame either, at all. It's about the energy of forgiveness. And also bear in mind that forgiveness is a gift to yourself. It's not about condoning anyone's behavior. It's not about saying that anyone was right or wrong. It's about deciding that you're no longer going to carry a ball and chain around with you. And here's the other thing about forgiveness. You don't even need to tell the person that you're forgiving them. I have forgiven people for sexual assault. They don't know I've forgiven them, and I did it for myself, not for them. And it's called the Ho'oponopono prayer. And it's even more powerful if you use a mirror. So look at yourself in the mirror, and you're going to look in your eyes, and you're going to say to yourself, I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And you're going to say that, you're going to repeat that, and you may find you get really emotional. You may find that you start to cry, because the person who often needs our forgiveness the most is ourselves. You know, we beat ourselves up, we hold on to things that we've done years ago, we hold on to our mistakes, you know, and so we deserve our own forgiveness. And when I first started this, I really struggled looking at myself in the mirror and saying, I love you, I'm proud of you. That's another thing you can do in the morning. I look in the mirror and say, good morning, beautiful, I love you, and I'm proud of you. Because I don't want to be in a relationship with someone who makes me feel like crap. And the relationship we have with ourselves is the longest relationship we'll ever be in. And we deserve it to be a loving relationship, not a toxic relationship. And it will be challenging if you're not used to this. Even just looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, I love you, I love you, I love you. At first you'll feel really stupid, at first you won't believe it. Keep doing it and remembering that you deserve love. You know, we don't need to earn love. You know, you look at a newborn baby, they don't do anything, they're no good for anything. You know, they're totally helpless, they don't provide for society, yet we look at them with complete innocence and we say that they deserve unconditional love. We are those babies, we are still children, we are divine, we all deserve love, no matter what we may have done, no matter what mistakes we may have made in the past. And so often, as I say, the person who deserves our love the most is ourselves. So look yourself in the mirror, in your eyes, and say, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And maybe try every morning as you stumble out of bed. look at yourself in the mirror and say, good morning, beautiful. I love you. I'm proud of you. Even if you feel silly to start with, that will make you smile anyway. Especially when you just got out of bed in the morning and your hair's all over the place. But as I say, it's better than get, oh God, you're horrible. Oh, look at the state of this, blah, blah, blah. Oh, what a mess I am. Oh, what a failure I am, blah, 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 blah. Because we make ourselves feel rubbish by the way we talk to ourselves. And by the way, your body hears every word that you say. Don't ever forget that. So don't be a bully towards yourself. Sending you so much love. Mwah.